especially going back to Columbus down.
Why? They were horrible this year.
Malibu and the diner.
These leaders of these countries.
About the AFC South. So I think
there's a history in this league.
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to
finish
make him the
this.
subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready. You have no idea what song I have no idea what song it is.
it's a hot song right now. All right, Drusty, we're on the Doug Serravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So, last time we were doing the mock draft, and we don't have the Giants picking a quarterback. So, do these teams, like the Jets, the Giants, do they highly rely on the free agent market for their quarterback?
Oh, hell yeah. Like, the Jets and the Giants both have money and capital and everything. So
Yeah.
they're going to try everything in their power just to try to get a franchise guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially, like, people that, like, improved. Like, let's take Sam Darnold, for example. Sam Darnold has improved immensely, but he was also under Minnesota's, like, Kevin O'Connell's offense and direction and everything. And then they went to a 14-3 team. Compared to last year, they barely won like 4 or 5 games. So for me, he's a big upside. With Russell Wilson, he had a great year. He looked better. Toward the end, maybe not, but the beginning part of when he took over, he looked great. Same with Justin Fields. He went 4-2 and then looked pretty decently. So I think the Jets and the Giants are going to be heavily reliant on the quarterback free agency.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams are going to do that, specifically the Giants, because you have these rumors going on about Matthew Stafford. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good fit, but it varies on how they're going to get him. Are they going to trade that number 3 pick? I think if they do, they're making a big mistake getting rid of that pick, because you could trade him for like a second and a third, and you could still draft a need. You don't have to draft your saving quarterback, because this draft has 6, 7 quarterbacks in it. You don't know if they're going to be franchise-changing guys. But I'm looking at this draft class, and you have Shedeur, you have Cam, but you also have Will Howard, you have Jalen Milroe, Dylan Gabriel, although I don't trust the left-handed quarterbacks. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft.
Yeah, and I think you could go that way too. And if they pan out to be good, you keep them for like 5 years. So that being said, I say half of them go get a new quarterback. Like the Browns are always going to be in that talk of they're getting a new quarterback. They can't trust Deshaun Watson, and he's out and everything. So they were getting a quarterback. Tennessee is a hit or miss for me, because they could keep Will Levis or let him walk and he goes somewhere else and he becomes a star. Like I always said, if you're going to draft the number 1, you're going to a team that is sucks, and you're going to be on that same level. So don't be going crazy thinking you're going to be that. Like, it happens to maybe 1 or 2 players, like with Jay Daniels and CJ Stroud. So who knows what's going to happen in the draft and with the needs of every team.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that have key pieces that they need to fill.
Yeah.
Like the Jets, the Giants, but I wouldn't go overboard on the quarterback position, because there's at least 10 quarterbacks on the trade market, but mostly the free agent market that you can go after.
Yeah, there's a lot of free agent quarterback. there's gonna be a lot of quarterbacks that are out. Like what? It's Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. Um, that's whoever else is free agent quarterback. Like, those are like the top three right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even Sam Darnold, even though like, who knows with Sam Darnold? Because I think Minnesota could have like made a run if Sam Darnold wasn't nerfed. I felt like it was because it was his first time in the playoffs, and he was probably nervous. So who knows how he was.
Yeah, and the Vikings always like they seem lost once they get to a postseason game lately. I don't think they've won a first round game in since 2019. So it's been like at least 5 years. Yeah. All right, so let's get to Jason from Marlboro. He wants to know, how do you feel about Daniel Jones to your Pittsburgh Steelers? And we were talking about this yesterday.
It would really suck, but if he actually performed on a high level and actually was really good, that's going to burn a lot of Giants fans.
Yeah, it would be like Sam 2.0.
Like it was actually the Giants that were failing him and not Daniel Jones. Like, that will be the kick in the butt. I don't know, because it's all going to depend on Khan. Like, Khan is like the mastermind, and like he brought all this this year, all these free agency. They brought in Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, and they made a playoff into the playoffs and everything.
Yeah,
I like the idea to go young. I like to go young because you can mold. But at that point, I'd rather keep Justin Fields.
Yeah, or if you get rid of Wilson, you could even have Fields and Jones as the backup just in case one of them don't pan out.
At that point, I could go draft a quarterback and like keep him as in the back and then see how he does.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than at that point. I'd rather keep Fields and then see what happens. And then if we don't do well, then I know to put in a new kid in, or knowing the next draft will be like a little bit better with a quarterback situation. But if Daniel Jones went to the Steelers, I don't know, honestly. Like, I would have to because I don't think he's all that bad, because he led.
I don't think so either.
He led the Giants into the playoffs and actually won a playoff game.
Yeah.
Like, I can't say he's all that bad.
It's just the scenario, like the same thing too.
Because of the team itself.
Like if Zach Wilson goes elsewhere, could he be a big improvement?
I think if you even would have left him with that Broncos team and not have Bo Nix there, I think he would have been just fine.
Yeah.
I think he has all the qualities of a quarterback. I just think he just went to a failed system.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at it's a trend with the Jets. Look at Geno Smith. Look at Sam Darnold. They all got drafted by the Jets for what would be the next big thing. They sucked. They got traded to another team. Guess what? Yeah, they became a journeyman for a little bit, but then they actually found a good team that actually wanted them and saw something, and was like, okay, we're gonna keep you.
Yeah, that's why I'm not don't rush the quarterback position just yet.
Yeah, I say find your pieces first. Find your pieces, and if you can't find that, then I would prioritize the draft and look for somebody really good. But if you could slowly or quietly pick up people that they don't understand why you pick up that and it fits your personnel, that's fine.
Yeah. If I know we're gonna get to him. We look at this draft at the quarterback. There's 10 quarterbacks in there that you could draft. You don't have to draft Cam or Shador right away.
And you could draft them late.
Mm-hmm.
Get all your pieces that you want now that will fit them right, that could start immediately, and then slowly get pieces that could go in. If somebody gets hurt, there's your fix a piece.
Yeah. What's this called? I'm not throwing Shador in there to be the starter if he's a Giants quarterback. I'm just not.
I feel like they're going to, though. You probably won't, but they probably are going to.
They probably are, but why when you have these good quarterbacks?
Then at that point, why would you draft him first round if you're not going to play him?
to be the future. Matthew Stafford isn't the future. He's the present to have a quarterback learn from him, but I'm not going to have Shador be there.
But here's the thing: he could be the next Daniel Daniels, or
He can be.
But
He can be
in there and let a team into the playoffs.
He can be.
So like, who knows? So you can't just say like, I'm going to bench him, but then what's the point of drafting him? Usually, when you draft somebody in the first round, they're playing.
I get that, but at the same time, I'm not going to mortgage our future if we're not ready.
Yeah, but when you ever know you're going to be ready if you just don't take a little bit of risk?
I know, I get that. It worked out in Washington, so who knows? But I just don't think he's. Don't think he's that guy.
It was out of Washington because they had the pieces there. They needed a competent quarterback and they needed a head coach. They got both in the offseason.
I know. I think it varies on who's available when we draft. If Cam and Shador are already gone, then don't draft a quarterback that's going to be in there right away.
They're going to, though, because that's what they're prioritizing as a quarterback.
No, I know, but I'm just saying if Cam and Shador are already off the board, don't draft someone like a Jackson Dart with the third overall pick.
We already know the Browns are already going to draft a quarterback. There's no question they're drafting a quarterback.
Yes. Browns, we know. Titans, or you don't know.
Tennessee is the question mark because if they go pick up a receiver, sign a receiver to a big contract, they're going to pick up Hunter and try to mold him into either receiver or keep him as a corner because they don't lose in that situation. They actually win because either you put him as a receiver or you put him as a cornerback. It doesn't matter. You get a defensive player or offensive player.
Yeah.
So either way, you don't lose, and then it's a win-win for the Giants because then they go get a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows, honestly.
Right. What else we got? We got Dave from Long Island. Do the Jets draft a quarterback? If you saw our episode from Thursday, you would see in our mock draft, we have the Jets drafting a safety, Malaki Starks from Georgia.
And the reason why we think that, too, because we feel like the Jets have the money. So knowing them, they'll go pay somebody to be a quarterback that's already, been in the league. And no, it's like they're at the point where they have a team that could go far. It's just, why do we want to start all over again? So for me, I'm gonna address it with, all right, I'm gonna go get Russell Wilson. That if we get him a good pocket, he can sit in there and throw the ball to Garrett or the other receivers. So I'm gonna more prioritize my defense, if anything, at that point. But who knows what the Jets do?
Yeah, I don't know what the Jets do. Just because we saw what happened with Rodgers, they kind of mortgaged some of their future for him. I think if there's a good quarterback available, like if you have a Shador or you have a Cam, then you know what? Draft a quarterback for the future. Right. But Justin Fields is still, 25, 26?
Yeah, he's still moldable and young to, do that. That's why,
he could be the franchise guy, even if Sam works out again. But I wouldn't bring back Sam.
Yeah, but I want to do that. I don't think Sam would want to do that anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he'd go back to the Jets. But
think if he does, then it's like a domestic relationship.
Yeah,
he likes to get abused.
But the point of this is there's a lot of quarterbacks out there in free agency. I think I sent it to the group chat, the top 10 quarterbacks for free agency, because there is a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot. It's not just 2 or 3. There's 10.
There's 10. It's they're not big names like Cam Ward or Shador, but at the same time, they played on a high, especially the guy from Oregon and stuff. He played on a high level. Oregon went decently into the postseason this year. I wouldn't say anything about that, and who knows? Who knows what teams do and everything. Especially the guy from Alabama. Alabama played decently too. And Alabama was supposed to be in a regression year. And they actually looked pretty decent. They got into the playoffs.
Where is it? Yeah, there's 10 quarterbacks. You got Fields, you got Wilson, you got Stafford, you got Rodgers, Sam. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there. So it's not it's a do or die.
No, if you're going to make the offer, I would make it now before, or you if anything, we'll find out more in March. with everything going on, like who signs where, because I don't think because at that point when you get into the summertime, you want to like start having everybody come to OTAs and everything, and like start like
Yeah.
building chemistry with each other and everything.
Yeah, I think the draft is first, and then you have free agency or vice versa.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure.
It's in April the draft, and then after 2 weeks later we'll find out the schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll see what goes from there.
Yeah, I know the Giants are hosting Kansas City, so that may be a game I want to go to see Patrick Mahomes. I missed out.
Watching it blown out.
Yeah, we'll get blown out, but I would love to see Mahomes in person.
Well, too, the Steelers are playing the Jets this year, so that'll be a good.
Yeah, that's like seeing McDavid play against the Devils. You want to see these best players.
Yeah,
NFL,
true.
it's hard to see when they come around.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
So
the
it should be
Giants play
that.
that. Yeah, that's going to be like a weird scenario, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see Mahomes go against the Giants.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the Giants could be decent and give them like a run. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know. We have a good defense. We have Brian Burns. We have Dexter Lawrence. So it's not. I'm not so much worried about our defense. I'm more concerned about the quarterback position moving forward.
The left tackle, was he left or right tackle that comes back?
Yeah, he comes back.
He comes back, and maybe you compare him with somebody like really good,
Mm-hmm.
somebody, and maybe draft somebody. Just try to pick up a couple people that could actually be good.
Yeah. All right, so we're going with who we got next. Matt from Monroe. Are these Matt Stafford rumors true? Daniel Jeremiah changed his mock draft Giants pick, and he responded to a fan with a photo of Matthew Stafford. So I don't know if the Giants are in talks with the Rams, but Matthew Stafford is rumored to go to the Giants. I kind of like the pick, but at the same time, he can't play in the cold. At the same time, he's 37. We saw it with the Jets with Rodgers. Will I be disappointed if they get him? No, but you can't trade this third overall pick. Like, if you saw our episode a few days ago, we got tackle Will Campbell from LSU going to the Giants. So I think that's what they should do. But I'm not sure if they're in talks, but the rumors are happening. So Matthew Stafford could be a New York Giant. We just can't confirm it. So it's.
Well, not just that. Like, what are the Giants going to give up? That's the true question.
I'm not giving up the third overall pick.
It's like at that point, I'd rather just go get Rodgers. Then Rodgers is a free agent. I'll sign him.
Yeah, get Rodgers. I take 1 year of Rodgers to get instead of giving him our third overall pick.
You're gonna keep Stafford for like 3 years, and you're like at least with Rodgers, I know he can play in the cold very well. I know he still has something. Just give him a team around him, and I think he'll be just fine.
Like, I hate Rodgers, but if it was to mortgage the future or bring in Rodgers, I'd take Rodgers just for 1 or 2 years.
But I think Rodgers is going to go to a team that is a quarterback away from like winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So like even you throw Pittsburgh in there.
Like, you could throw Pittsburgh in there.
Because I think they're also could be a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl.
Tennessee, maybe. I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're that bad.
No, defensively they're good. Like, they don't give up crazy amount of points. It's just offense can't score.
Maybe Minnesota.
You know, I was actually seeing
the Colts. I don't know any team he could go to.
So Rodgers is on the same trajectory if it
as Brett Favre. Yeah,
as Brett Favre. If he goes to the Jets, like he started Green Bay, went to Jets, and he goes to Minnesota. So that'd be crazy because I mean they are a quarterback away. I think from winning Super Bowl, they have the defense, you have the offense.
Yeah,
I think if you put Rodgers in there, and he don't have to play that much cold, like maybe once or twice, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm telling you, I think that Minnesota team could be a threatening team.
Could be, yeah. He started with the Packers, then he went to the Jets, then he went to the Vikings. Yeah, Rodgers is doing the same thing. Yeah. Packers, Jets, maybe he goes to the Vikings next year.
I think Minnesota team is a lot better than that other one, just because I feel like the defense is a lot better because of what's his name? Zimmerman, I think. That's his name, the defensive coordinator. I think he's really good. And Kevin O'Connell is an offensive genius and just has the right people at the right time.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Jefferson's like the highest paid, like one of the highest paid receiver, and then you have Addison that's playing out of his mind, and then you have Hawkinson that I think coming off injury should be better. And if they keep Aaron Jones, I think that's a good running back deal.
Yeah.
If not, I would maybe like trade up to go get Jeffries.
Yeah. Like, and people, we look at these quarterbacks that we have in the first round that when we did our mock draft a few days ago. Shorter, Cam, and the only other quarterback that went was Dylan Gabriel to the Colts. That's who we put.
Yeah.
J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, that's
You don't know what's going to happen with J.J. He could be on the move. J.J. could be traded. I don't know.
He could be, but why waste a number one pick if you like wanted him there? Unless like they see something in JJ that he could be the starter. Like, is he going to be like, if you put him in that system, he'll be just fine because that team like a San Fran. Who knows? We're always forgetting about Brock Purdy. He could be on the run, on the go.
Yeah, there's a lot of quarterbacks. We don't know.
Like,
Realistically.
he could be gone and go to a team like Minnesota and play really good there because they have a better receiving core than San Fran, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and their offensive line is a lot better. So who knows, honestly? And I'd rather take a younger guy compared to Sam Darnold. No offense to Sam.
Yeah.
Or even Aaron Rodgers. I'd rather take a younger person.
Mm-hmm. Like this whole idea with team needs are the best. That's why it's hard to do a mock draft right now because you could go with the team needs or the best player available. Yeah, the Giants need a quarterback, Jets need a quarterback, but at the same time, they could go in the market and get a quarterback. So it's like, am I just going to give them Shador just to give them Shador? Yeah. No. So it's like, what are you going to do?
You're losing at that point.
Yeah. Like there's players out there besides Shador and Cam.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got? We got Jenny from Vegas. Does Russell Wilson reunite with Pete Carroll?
There's a very possibility of that, honestly. There's a very possibility they can because they definitely need he Like they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll knows how to like play it very well. Especially he knows Wilson. He knows what he likes. He knows what he doesn't like. And if they could go get a receiver,
and that's his boy.
Yeah, and then get something for that because you already have Brock Bowers. He's gonna arguably be like the best tight end in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
Like he broke all the rookie numbers as a tight end like this year or last year. So I wouldn't be surprised if you gave him a competent quarterback that he's gonna go crazy again.
Yeah, because we got the Raiders. We gave the Raiders Dual Carter, so.
Yeah. So
are they hesitant to trade move up to get Shador or Cam? I don't know. I don't think they are. I think they're going to test the market to see who's out there.
I don't think they should do that, honestly. Like, if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna give up away a little too much, and I wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why go get Russell Wilson or somebody that's been there and always time for a year or two deal. You don't have to go absolute crazy in that.
So yeah, that's that. I like the mock draft we did a few days ago. So
yeah, but that's a good question. I do like the odds. Like I give him I'll say like a 60-40 odds that he could go there.
Yeah, I could see him going there. It's just I think this is the first time in a long time we're actually excited for the NFL offseason because there's going to be a lot happening, a lot of moves, a lot of trades, a lot of free agents.
Last year was the same thing. Like there's a lot of moves being made, like who's going where and like what was happening and stuff. And we didn't know like what was going to happen, and then that all happens, and then this year it's as good too.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna be a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of receivers, running backs. Like have you seen the top like 5 running backs?
Yeah.
It's like Aaron Jones, Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, J.K. Dobbins, and someone else. Oh, and Dowdle.
Oh yeah.
So like those are the top 5 because I think Donald could definitely be like a top guy if he went to a better team.
Mm-hmm. So March 4th looks like it's the deadline for the franchise tag. So that's the deadline for franchise tag. Then it looks like March 12th is when trades could happen. And free agency begins at 4 p.m. March 12th.
So you're gonna see a lot of moves on that first initial day. It's gonna a lot of moves being. Was that Saturday? I think.
Yeah, and then April 24th. Oh no, that's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
And then April 24th is the NFL draft.
Wow, so it's late. So we're gonna get the schedule in like May.
I think so.
It's 2 weeks after. That's crazy. They're pushing it.
Yeah, so we'll probably do a football show that the day before the draft, April 24th, do our final mock draft because we'll probably know what teams have free agency quarterbacks.
Man, what's the best
and we could
fit?
decide. And then we could do the free agency preview show March 12th, since that's the first day. There may be updates as we're doing the show, so that would be interesting. But yeah, it's going to be a busy time the next 2 months for the National Football League.
Yeah, and after that, it'd be slow at that point.
Yeah, from May to...
Well, that's the only good thing because like that's when like you have like basketball like towards the playoffs and hockey, and the baseball will just be like revving up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
All right, as always, this has been the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. As always, I'm Dougie Saravo. We got Drusty. Always a pleasure to have us on discussing football. That's where, moving forward, that's where we're going. Football. It's a lot of fun to talk football. NBA, there's no competition, nothing really exciting.
Not until, like I said,
not till May, when the playoffs like in full swing.
Yeah, so we'll probably talk more about that.
Yeah, hockey's exciting playoff time. 4 nations, that's great. Team USA versus Canada, that should be fun. So it's gonna be a fun last few months, but football is the main focus here at Saravo Broadcasting when it comes to our sports show.
Yes, sir.
All right, Jimmy, I'll see you at work, but then I'll see you in the Bahamas, so that should be fun.
In the Bahamas, Dougie.
All right, take care, everybody, and have a good one.
So Malibu at the diner part of the casino.
That they're gonna slip back a little bit. Ben,
Do you ever ask yourself the question as to
For this town, things that haven't been done before.
Feel like
It's more than just Joe Biden, though. Like, it's just like people,
Overpay for DeGrom, and I think this is a great way for us to gather.
I'll be looking for another job after this is over. I can tell you that.
Here, with your name behind it, hoping that.
Why did Trump fire Fauci? He could have gotten rid of him.
There's a lot of things you can have checked out. So
Talk whatever we want.
it's sports? Well, I'll tell you, no matter, I don't have to worry about my feelings to understand that.